I think of the game. I thought for an indie game, from a developer I've never heard of. Not saying that they're new or anything. I've never heard of them, but the art was top notch. The story, it was cliched, but I mean, it was good. It was well written. Um, Wish they could have done more with voice acting, but that is what it is. Um, I covered for the lack of voice acting to the best of my ability. Um, but that's a who cares type thing. I do not judge a game based on voice acting. That's dumb because I grew up with games when there was no such thing as voice acting. So for video games. Anyway, so that's not going to take any points off. The combat system had a few glitches and bugs here and there with, and I don't know what caused them, but with characters, the units being like on a space next to where their model was. So I don't know what caused that, but it happens. I'm not gonna harp too much on that, but I feel that's something that should have been caught in post development, but maybe I did something that made it do that. I don't know. Maybe it was me using an Xbox controller. Maybe that was screwing with things. I don't know. But the combat system, just like kind of just like Fire Emblem, but instead of the weapon triangle, it was like what type of attack against what type of armor type thing. So that kind of took some getting used to, but the fact that they had the little green up arrow and red down arrow kind of helped you figure that out. Ended up not really making that much of a difference. So, yeah. Now, my biggest gripe, and I don't even know if I would say gripe. My biggest, I don't know what I don't know what I would call it, but I feel the leveling like was a little unbalanced. Like you got to a point where such like Maev, like she would rarely get hit unless it was like a critical, which can't be dodged. Then you had people like Vesta that had so much defense and fortitude that she didn't take damage. Same thing for Helena with magic. And I think it was pretty much just Vesta and Helena that was like, eh. Sterling at around the end started to get to that point, but his was just for defense. So I feel like the leveling was a little unbalanced. I feel wasn't the job class thing was okay, but I feel like it should have, like, you shouldn't have been able, like, you choose the second job and then you should have to choose whatever the next thing is for when you get to the third promotion. You shouldn't be able to choose whichever third promotion. So it should start from base, you get to choose the secondary, and then the third is the mastery of whatever that secondary is. So I guess that's not a gripe, just things that I just kind of found odd, I guess might be the best words to use. So, actually, let me just do this. So yeah, the jobs and the leveling I felt were a little off. It's not that big of a problem, but it is there. because, yeah, I don't know. I am a big proponent of balance, and I just felt like certain things got leveled too much on certain characters to where they were like unkillable. By not counting like critical strikes on them. Like I said, that's not that big of a deal. I said the art was top notch, better than anything I could ever hope to do. Let me tell you that right now. Um, Voice acting, the little bit of voice acting there was, it sounded good. I wish they could have hired them, at least the main characters, to have their parts fully voiced, but I guess they had everybody kind of in a lot of the scenes, so I guess that wouldn't really make made much sense. But the voice acting was deep, was good. Wish there could have been more, but again, I'm going to assume any developer, so they didn't have the money to hire the voice actors to do more. Would have been nice if like for like here's a good one for the scenes that had like the full picture scenes talking, have them at least had the voice actors for those, because I would consider those quote unquote cutscenes. Um, but that's again, I grew up when voice acting for video games wasn't even a thing, so that's not a big deal for me. Um, but a little bit of voice acting there was, it was good. The art was top notch. Like I said, the jobs and the leveling seemed odd and unbalanced. Um, the combat was good, minus the glitches I came across. But again, I don't know. It could have been me, like I said, using the Xbox controller that was screwing with it. Story, while cliched, was well written and made sense. It was straightforward, which I like. I don't like to when I play in a video game. I don't like to think. I just want to play the video game and enjoy the story. If I have to think about the story, then it is too complicated for me. I am a kitty. I get distracted by shiny things. So yeah. Anywho, um, now the in-game when you the fighting when you fought against an enemy, they were simple, but they were well done, and that's what matters. Simplicity does not mean bad, as much as it seems a lot of people think nowadays. Simplicity does not mean bad. If it's simple but well done, then it deserves praise. And they were simple, they were well done. The critical strikes were cool. I especially liked Elias's his third one, his third jobs where he does the little and then does the front flip and uh let's see. His was I liked his. Irving's was, okay, I guess. Well, champions, I think is what I had Irving, excuse me. But so those jobs classes were had some cool critical animations, but they were still simple but well done, and that's what matters. Quality over quantity. I can't really say quantity, but it's not really a quantity, but it's not a quality issue either. So I'm quality over quantity, quantity being the criticals and the combat scenes being more complicated. I would rather it be quality animations than complicated animations with less quality. There we go. That's it. So, overall, I would probably give this game an 8.5 out of 10. You should definitely check it out. You should definitely buy it if you don't already have it. It is definitely a game that I would very much recommend you supporting the developers on. So, yeah. So, 8.5 out of 10. That's pretty dang good for any developer when their type of game they were making has a Fire Emblem to they have to compete with Fire Emblem. So they did good. It was well done, and I appreciate all the work they put into it. And I am glad